Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Odette and thank you so much for being here today. This reading today will be a very simple reading. It is going to be a pick a card for information and details about your past life. Maybe what you look like, if you had children, if it was a good life. It all depends on what the angels and our guides have to tell us. So today's pick a card, I'm going to have 4 groups for you, okay? And then with each group, as you know, I love to give a gift of Candle Magic. I like to do that with you prior to every reading. So each of these candles will stand for the group, okay? And this would be group 1, which is pink, which is our rose quartz, which is here. I want to pick this little bottle. This is rose quartz. Group 2, which is the blue candle here. This is lapis lazuli. Very cool. Love that. The third group is going to be fluorite. Very pretty. Some green and lavender and purple in there. Really pretty rainbow fluorite in there. And that's going to be the purple candle. And then last but not least, we do have red jasper. Red jasper, and that is going to be the green candle. Okay. So this is so awesome. I'm so excited to get started. And as a bonus, at the end of the reading, I will ask Pendulum, my little friend here, if you've had more than one past life. This is nice to find out because you might find out that you are a new soul, or if you've had more than one past life, then you would be an old soul. Okay? So, without any more delay, please feel free to take your time. I will play a little bit of music and let you look at these, and you can meditate on them and decide which group you'd like to choose. And when you're ready, I do have chapters in the video. You can scroll if you know how to use the chapters, which I believe it's at the bottom of the description. It shows the different groups, or you can just click on the timestamps. Okay? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start your meditation. Okay, hello there, group 1. So let's go ahead and get your candle magic started. So if you picked the little rose quartz here, you are group number 1. Okay, rose quartz. I'll put that here for you. And then we want to just take a moment, breathe in, relax, and out. Maybe 3 times. Let's breathe together. All right, and decide if you have something that you are asking the universe for. What are you asking the universe for right now? Is there something, is it a prayer? Is it a request? Is it something that you're trying to bring closer to you? So if you have an intention or something you've been, asking the universe, or maybe an answer that you'd like to come to you, please feel free to send it to the candle, and then we will go ahead and light it on camera. Okay, and I'll go ahead and get that lit for you. All right, I will put that right over here. Okay, and oops, that's blocking that guy, huh? Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with your reading. This is going to be a message from God, Goddess, and angels about your past life. Okay, so I pulled 3 cards for you. We pulled the Hermit, which is a 9. We pulled the Hierophant, which is a 5. And we pulled the Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10. Okay, so looking at these cards, you definitely had a past life, for sure. And in this card here, you may have been someone who was a guide. You were very wise. Okay, so when I'm looking at the Hermit, I see someone who is wise, who guides other people, who has a light right here inside. Okay, you may have done a lot of soul searching in your past life, lots of introspection, and you may have liked to be, when you had your downtime, I'm getting that you like to be alone. Okay, and yeah, you like to be alone and go within. You may have been like possibly a monk, or you could go really like way back to like a prophet right here. That's what I'm seeing right there. Okay, and you did have a light to shine. So when you were in public, you just stood out. You just were people looked to you like you always gave really good advice, and you were very wise. Okay, and the second card is the Hierophant. When I see this card, I do see a teacher. I see someone who maybe had 2 children. Okay, I'm seeing that you were a male in your past life, because both of these cards to me look more masculine. Okay, and again, people held you in high regard. When I'm looking at this, I just see like people looking up to you, and really, you were very traditional. And I get old world here. I mean, obviously with this picture, but not really like recently in these times, more like, Roman times, times where the Catholic Church was, like one of the main sources of like Christianity was coming up, and that's kind of what I'm getting there. I also see intuitively, the card that comes to my mind is the Sun. So you were also a very happy person. You had a great personality. So definitely like some kind of light worker, like someone who helped others. And you were very wise. You helped others, and you guided them. You may have given counseling. You may have been a counselor, something like that. You did have children. You were very happy, very traditional, which would mean obviously you were married. Okay, but you dedicated a lot of your time to the church or to your religion, and to what you did. Okay, and then the last is the Wheel of Fortune here. So again, higher learning, because I see like they're learning here and they all have their books. Okay, I definitely think you're an old soul, but we'll get our answer here from the pendulum if you've had more than one past life. But you were very clear about your thoughts. You were very precise with any guidance that you gave. You had lots of good luck. And lots of opportunities in this life, because through this lifetime the past life that you had good karma, and then you were able to like build a name for yourself or become very well known in the Catholic Church or somewhere very, very traditional. Okay, it didn't have to be Catholic, it could be Christian as well. But then, you also needed alone time. People who are light workers tend to give a lot of themselves. I find that if I do like a lot of readings, or something that's really intense. I put a lot of myself out there when I'm giving advice, or when I'm doing a reading, or when I'm helping someone. It takes a lot out of me, and I do need to go within and just like have downtime to be able to recoup and get my energy again, because it is very draining. But I was put here for a higher purpose, so I feel like the need to help. I can't not help. I don't think it's right to have gifts and then not help people with them. So that is what I feel this person, what you did in your past life, like you needed to help, but you also needed to get your downtime. But you were someone very important. Okay. So I hope that really helped you there. You had good luck and you were very successful. Okay. So I'm using Mr. Pendulum here. It's a beautiful, wonderful card that actually came with my pendulum. So let's go ahead and get your answer on, did you have more than one past life? Okay, and let me just adjust the camera for you. Okay guys, so I've adjusted the camera, and this side, these are yes, this is no, this is maybe, and this is don't want to answer right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask Mr. Pendulum, did group 1 have more than one past life? Okay, let's get this spinning here. Mr. Pendulum, did group 1 have more than one past life? Yes. Yes, we are getting a yes. Wonderful. How exciting. So y'all had more than one past life. So I love that. So you might be up there on your soul cycles there and how many past lives you've had. So this is super exciting for you. So I always love to learn about my past lives. I have been told that I was a pantheon. I was all the way back. I went all the way back in a life, past life regression to Egypt. I was royalty. I could see myself in the pyramid, I could see the pyramid from my top of my roof, and I lived in this big palace. It was so awesome when I did that. But I also have so many dreams of different planets that I go to, and I have no clue when I'm there. I seem to travel a lot, and I've been a lot of places. I've also been told that I was definitely a high priestess, like in multiple lives, and I have lots and lots of guidance and to give, and just a lot of esoteric wisdom that I am drawing upon in this life. So it's really exciting. I have so much more information about that, but it's really exciting when you have more than one past life, because it kind of explains some of the dreams you have, or some of the feelings you have, or why you're remembering things when you don't realize why you're remembering them. Like, what is that, So that's really, really cool. So I'm so excited for you. I encourage you to definitely watch other readings about past lives, because you can find out more information on my channel or other channels on YouTube. There's lots of really cool readers out there that can give you more detail about your past lives. So I hope this was quick and easy and fun, and it's always fun to find out information about yourself. So until next time, I ask you kindly to please join me on my mission. I feel that I have been put here to call attention to help save Mother Earth. What I always ask you to do with me is join me in trying to water a plant, or even plant just a little plant, help save a tree, or plant a tree, or do something, springtime. If it's springtime in your area, you may want to plant a garden. All those things help us with oxygen. Also, another thing you can do to help Mother Earth along with me is adopt a shelter pet. There's lots of pets that need saving, and that you can save a life if you do. And we really appreciate you if you could do that, if you decide to adopt. And also, last but not least, try to recycle one thing with me today, or use a sustainable product. And as a collective, I think that if we all just join together, we can all help Mother Earth, so that we can live here longer and have a beautiful earth. We just get so much for free from the earth, and I want to give back as much as possible. And this is my platform to ask for help. So thank you so much, and I wish you love, peace, positivity, light, prosperity, abundance, and happiness, and just peace of mind. So until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Hello there, group number 2. So if you pick the Lapis Lazuli right here, this is group number 2. Let's get started with your Candle Magic. So this is a gift I like to give to all of anyone who watches me. If you've never done Candle Magic before, I do have a video that I did a while ago on Candle Magic. I try to keep everything as simple as possible for you. So that's kind of how I teach, just simple and easy as possible. So if you want to watch that, feel free to do so. If you already know about Candle Magic, then please feel free. I'll do a quick explanation. You want to send your intention, something that you've been asking for, maybe a prayer or a request that you're asking of the universe, to please send that intention into the candle, and then I light it and let it burn all the way out off camera, and it'll release your intentions into the ether so the universe can hear it and bring it to you quicker. This has to do with the law of attraction or prayers, however you think your higher source, God, angels, goddess, spirit, how they bring you what you're requesting. So feel free to take a moment and decide on what you're asking the universe for. Send your intention here to the candle, and we'll go ahead and light this for you, and then we'll get started. Okay, wonderful. I will put this little guy over here. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and get started with your past life reading. And remember, at the end, we're going to ask Mr. Pendulum if you had more than one past life. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so here are your cards. So we pulled the Temperance, okay, the Moon, and the Hermit. That's interesting. I wonder if you were also called to group number 1, because they also got the Hermit, which is crazy because I shuffled and cleared and cleansed the deck, and I am in sacred space. So very interesting. It does come across, when I do get specific cards and things like that. It's just the way I intuitively have to explain them to you. So it might just be my angels helping me out so I can explain it better. So let's get started. So to me, I feel that in your past life, so if we're looking at the Temperance, this is a 14, okay? You were always striving to have balance and harmony in your life. You had a lot of patience, a lot of self-confidence, but you were in some kind of relationship where it was always needed. Like you always need to try it. Like you were the peacemaker. Okay, you were the patient one. You were kind. You always wanted harmony and peace in your life. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because here on the Moon, you see how the Moon's face is like, kind of bothered, maybe confused, like they're upset about something, and you may have had definitely had pets around you. You had maybe you really, really liked dogs. Maybe you worked with animals in your past life there. And I do see that you had to put up with a lot of, you had hidden enemies in that life. You also had to be really careful and use your intuition. And you had to deal with slander and gossip, and maybe the people that were your family, or you may have, I'm getting you had a family who was really chatty and always talking about everybody, and you weren't like that. like you were different, you were more enlightened, you know, you were always peaceful and kind and balanced, and the people around you were always like howling and barking and burp, 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 you know, and gossiping and saying things, and you were always really trying to like be cautious, you know, trying to make the peace, and maybe the family, like I feel like they fought a lot with another family or maybe other relatives, and so there was always like a lot of fighting. So you may have been, this lifetime you may have had where during a war where there was like a lot of fighting going on, and all you wanted was just like to always retreat, which is the Hermit here, and go alone, you know, be alone and chill, detach, think, you know, get reflection, you know, just to kind of like chill out, because there was so much always going on in that life. I feel that you were female, and I don't feel that you had any children. I do think that you passed away young in this life. And I definitely think that you lived near water and mountains, because you have mountains here, you have mountains there, and you have a lot of water. So you may have drowned in the life because you passed away young. It could have been something in your lungs, like something with your heart, or like what is that, tuberculosis or something, like something that caused you to like cough and fluid in the lungs. Okay, so there's fluid in the lungs I'm seeing here, and you did not live a very long life. Again, I think that, you know, back in the day, you know, we're in 2021 here, it's crazy, but back in the day people did not live very long because they did not have all of the resources and antibiotics and lots of stuff that we have nowadays that can just, you know, heal something in a sec. Like here, it wasn't like that, you know, so you didn't really have that. So you did pass away fairly early, but you were a really good person. Like, it's almost like you were born into the wrong family, and there was lots of stuff going on, lots of war going on, lots of fighting. I feel it was from like the people around you. So it could have been your family or something that that happened a lot. And so you just always wanted to chill and keep the peace. And you did a lot of introspection. Maybe you loved poetry. You loved, like, you know, going within and maybe like writing like harmony, you know, like harmonious, you know, poems, or just things that like you would like to just go soul searching and thinking like, why am I here? Like, seriously, like, this is not me. I don't even feel like I belong here. This may also transfer over to this life. I'm getting like you definitely sometimes feel lonely. You sometimes do feel like you need to go and like be alone and get your alone time. If ever in your current life there is problems, you try to get away from all the gossipy people. Like, you don't like to be all up in the drama. You try to get away a lot, and this could have passed over to this life as well. Okay, but I definitely think you did pass away young in this lifetime. I do not think that you lived to be, well, this is a general reading, so some of you could have lived to be old, but I do feel like I'm getting more of a stronger that you passed away younger, and it was from something in your chest, like your lungs or your heart. Okay, so interesting. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything else. Yeah, like definitely you were near water, and then also you would like to go get into, like, you would go sit in the mountains and chill. Like, I like the forest. You liked the forest. You liked being out in nature. You know, you like taking off your shoes and grounding yourself, and you would go and you would be, you know, in the mountains somewhere. That's very interesting. Like Germany, Carpathia. I'm thinking like super interesting. This is like just like somewhere in Europe. Very interesting. Maybe by like some kind of big pillars, like a wall, or there's just like a lot of really big, you know, somewhere in Europe where there was like a lot of big, huge, like pillars, walls. Like, I'm feeling like Germany, somewhere in Germany or something. That's what I'm seen here. Could have been during that war as well, because that does make a lot of sense. Cool. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm pulling from here. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera for our answer from Mr. Pendulum. We're going to ask Mr. Pendulum if you had more than one past life. I mean, I'm already vibing that you did, because if you're here now and this is like an older reading, like you were back in the day when there was those wars, you would have had to live another life before now, unless you are like in your 80s or 90s right now, I think. So let's go ahead and adjust the camera. Okay, guys, so on my little card, this is yes. So if it goes this way right here, it's yes. If it goes this way, it's no. And if it goes here like this way, it does not want to answer, and this way is maybe. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this started for you. Mr. Pendulum, did group number 2 have more than one past life, or are they a new soul? Did they have more than one past life? Yes, the answer is yes. So you did have, I thought you did. I mean, I feel it because it just doesn't seem like you've only had like one, like you're new. I think that you find yourself, like in this life, feeling like sometimes you feel like you need to get away and chill. Like you prefer solitude to a whole bunch of people. And if you do have friends, they're just like a real small friend group that is also quiet, calm, and sweet like you, or caring like you, on the timid side, not, all crazy, but because I think that poured over to this life. So I hope that was helpful. This is a general reading, but I'm hoping that it did resonate with you in some way. So thank you so much for being here. And just in case you're wondering, I did tell group number 1, I have had many lifetimes, I've been told, on my past life readings. I also did a past life regression, and I went all the way back to Egypt, and when the pyramids and everything was hustling and bustling and the pyramids were built, and I lived back in that time. I seen with my own eyes, like in this past life regression, I seen like the pyramids from my home, and I lived in a huge palace with marble floors. It was beautiful. I had my own servants because I had a servant trying to help me not get in trouble. It was really cool. I've also had like lots of different readings in my lifetime, a few actually, that I'm trying to find out, like, okay, what was I? Because I'm always having these wonderful dreams that are from different, I'm always under the water, or I'm on a planet that's a different color, or multiple planets I travel to, and I have dreams of my family that are like aliens, which is crazy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls, and I miss them in my dream really, really bad. It hurts my feelings really bad when I don't see them, and in my dream I wake up and it's crazy. So I don't think I've always been on this earth. And then also I've been told that I have been like a high priestess, a pantheon, where the whales would sing to me and come and see me, and I was on this throne. And so yeah, I have like lots of different things in my reading. So it's super fun when you do get a past life reading, or you do a past life regression, because it's so neat to find out, like, aha, that's why I always dream about that, or that's why I feel that way sometimes, yeah. So if I ever I feel I'm always like kind of like very introverted about sharing, but because it makes you vulnerable when you share on YouTube. But maybe one of these times I'll make a couple videos and tell you guys about my dreams and about what I've experienced in my lifetime, in my lifetimes, because it's really fun and cool. And it makes a lot of sense as to why I am doing what I'm doing now in my current life, and why I have the gifts that I have. And I feel like I was sent here to help others with my gifts. And yeah, and help Mother Earth, which is like huge to me right now. So without taking too much of your time, please remember to please join me on my crusade of helping save Mother Earth. We can all do just one thing to help per day, or just every month. Maybe you can plant a garden if it's that time of that season, or water your plants, or buy a few plants. They help us breathe and they give oxygen. And so maybe plant a tree if you can, even if it's a little baby tree. That helps Mother Earth because of all the deforestation. It's really good to try to help replant trees to help us. And maybe a garden, or also helping the animals. I love helping animals, and so I really feel very strongly. I try and remind everyone to please adopt a shelter pet so you can save a life. And it's not just like doggies and kitties. It's actually there's lizards and reptiles and chickens and exotic birds and sugar gliders and lots of fun little animals that end up losing their homes and get sent to shelters where they end up, it's not a good end for them. And so that's why I always ask y'all to please help me. And if you do decide to help Mother Earth, then helping her creatures is something that is wonderful that you can do as well. And also, last but not least, you can please try with me to recycle one thing per day. Instead of throwing that cup in just in a regular trash receptacle, maybe trying to put it into a recyclable receptacle, depending on where you live. Just trying to recycle one thing, or you reuse something, you reuse just sustainable products, which is very, very helpful to help with less in the landfills. So I hope you can help me on my journey and on my crusade to get the word out there to help Mother Earth and her creatures. So thank you so much for being here, and I want to wish you just love and peace, positivity, light, happiness, abundance, just peace of mind, and peace to you. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your past life reading if you chose the fluorite. Very pretty. Okay. And first of all, you may already know, but I always want to give you the gift of Candle Magick. It's so beautiful. I have a video that I do, which is pretty simple and easy. I try to keep things simple and easy, but if you are interested in Candle Magick, I do have a video for that. But basically, in a nutshell, if you have an intention or a prayer or something that you're trying to call from the universe to come to you, you want to send it here to your candle, and then I will light it on camera and let it burn all the way out. When it finishes burning all the way out, it will release your request to the universe, so that it will bring to you your intention a lot quicker. Okay, so it's actually just a lot of manifestation. It just helps with manifestation by lighting a candle. And I did pick these colors intuitively. So, I think that they go with whoever picked group number 3 and the fluorite. Okay, so take your time. If you have a request from the universe, a blessing that you're asking for, or an intention that you're asking to call to you sooner using the law of attraction, please feel free to send your intention to the candle, and then I will go ahead and light it on camera and then let it burn out for you all the way. Okay, right, here we go. Wonderful. So I will now adjust the camera and get your cards. Okay, so remember, at the end we are going to ask Mr. Pendulum if you've had more than one past life. Okay, and first things first, some of you may have been called to group number 2 as well. I'm getting that feeling. So if you've had more than one past life, if that's what it turns out, you may want to go to that one as well. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm seeing, so this is a 21, a 3, and an 18, which is a 9. So that's interesting. So I definitely think that you are in a very advanced soul, first of all. I think that you were female. The advancement may even cross over into this life. Like, I think that in this life you may have gifts, like a lot of gifts, like You can do manifestation. You may have more of the clairs. Like I've been told I have all the clairs by my mentor, and readings I keep getting told, like, because I can feel things, hear things, smell things, see things, all the things, So you, I think, have all the clairs, definitely. So you may have ringing in your ears. You may see angel numbers all the time. Like this is something that definitely crossed over to this lifetime, because me personally, like this is what I'm hearing. Like you had so much experience in your past life that it's coming over until today, like now. Okay, so I don't know if I said that already. This is a past life reading, but you got this stuff now too. And if you don't feel that you have it, like we all have it, but I think that some people, like when you tap in, like boom, you're just a natural. That's what happened to me, very young, at a very young age, and I kind of ignored it, like for a long time. Like I ignored it, and kept trying to and anytime I was interested in it, things would move by themselves. I would see things, objects, like lots of stuff would happen, because like they knew I was like, hi, like everyone was trying to talk to me, and I would freak out, and then I just shut it off. And so unfortunately now I regret not getting in and not tapping into my gifts sooner in my life. But I just kind of chalk it up to it was all meant to be. But I have been practicing for about, I would say, full-fledged, accepting and coming to terms with my gifts and my path, about 15 years now. But prior to that, I tried to shut everything off. So you may be that same way. I'm getting someone is that same way. And it's okay to be scared. Getting a mentor and just starting slow, reading about the clairs, reading about, the clairvoyant, clairaudient, claircognizant, like lots of the gifts. There's a lot of tests like on Pinterest that you can take, but yeah, definitely think that you definitely were very, very powerful in your past life already. Like I get the world a lot. You definitely were very, very powerful. You were female. You knew how to, possibly control the elements as well. I get that a lot as well, where, if you need shade, you'll get like a cloud out of nowhere. Like I get that all the time, like clouds right there. See that? This is what you used to do in your past life. And if you tap into in this life, you may notice that. Okay. You had reason to celebrate. You were definitely well off, where you had lots of achievements. Like you studied really well. You had a good support system. So I believe very strongly that you were married. You were female. You had a good support system. Your husband was very supportive, like in your path. Like he was totally supportive, even if he wasn't on the same path as you. He was very he helped you, like when people tried to, so this makes sense, when people tried to drain your energy and cause you to just be in distress or talk bad about you, or just enemies, or gossip about you, your husband would definitely help shield you. Because you were so gifted, you definitely had to always call protection in from your guides, from your elementals. You'd always have to make sure that you were protected, and your husband was always there as a very good support system for you. You may have also had children, maybe one child, because I'm seeing 3 here. You may have had a child, for sure. And animals, definitely a dog, some kind of animals, but you also had to put up with a lot of, you had to be very careful. And because this was a past life, I would assume that you were in a place where you could not shine as much as you wanted to, because you were very, very gifted. But back in the day, if you ever read Salem Witch Trials, or you can go even further back than that, a lot of that talks about how it was not accepted like it is now. Esoteric wisdom definitely was not accepted. Paganism was not accepted. The religion was the Catholic, Christianity was huge back then. And if you were ever caught practicing, in some countries today, you can still be put to death for even calling yourself a witch. So yeah. So you definitely had to be very cautious, which is what I'm seeing here. And you had hidden enemies always, and your husband was very supportive though. So you did have like a good support system. You were protected. I do feel that you did live a long life, as long as you could back in the day. You know, this is a very mature, beautiful woman here. You were a female as well. Let me see if there's anything else. Definitely successful. You definitely had a beautiful home. You lived somewhere, you know, where, you know, you had like a big brick, like a brick home, you know, maybe gated community, perhaps somewhere like that. Wrought iron. I'm seeing like wrought iron. You were able to travel, you know, so you were well off. You know, I'm getting like you were really, really well off back then. And then you also had these beautiful gifts. But you had to be really careful. You know, you were, you know, you achieved all of that. Like you accepted it, you started young, and you achieved like all your clairs. You tapped into everything, and you were really, really good at what you did. You also learned a lot. Like you learned as much as you possibly could very young so that you could get there to the world. Like, you know, right here, he's like showing what he did. Like you definitely learned a lot, and you were very, 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 you know, overall happy, but you had to really be careful. Is there anything else I'm seeing? You also, so I do think, again, your house, you lived in a place where there was like big cathedral type ceilings, a lot of brick, and you may have had like water on one side and mountains on the other. So perhaps you live like in a castle or somewhere beautiful, because you had green grass here, but you live somewhere where you were able to have an ocean view or water view, and you were protected with the big, huge house, you know, so it wasn't like you were a peasant in any way. Back in the day, you were someone who had money, because I'm seeing that right there, like the building, and you were expanding, and, you know, these people are expanding here, so I'm definitely getting that. Definitely getting that. Yeah. Yeah. Let me think here. Is there anything else that we're getting? Group number 3. I get that you were able to talk to animals as well. You were able to communicate with animals. The reason why I say that is you were able to communicate with your angels. And then we do have a lion, you know, the bull and the eagle. Like you were definitely able to talk with animals. You may have owned livestock. Yeah, you definitely may have owned livestock. You ate well, because you lived right here. You were able to eat like opulent, like lobster and things like that. I just seen 1111 on our camera. So you were definitely in tune with your angels, for sure, for sure. And I still think you have angels now. This definitely carried on to this life. So if you've not already tapped in and you are interested, I would start, you know, you can start as slow as you want. And if you're not afraid, you can start really lighthearted. The angels don't, you know, the angels are beautiful if you try and connect with your angels, instead of trying to delve right in and connect with, you know, a deity, or because most deities that you do work with, you do have to give back. And if you don't know what you're doing, it gets kind of risky when you do that. But working with angels, the angels are very loving, and they have like that warm presence about them, and they can talk to you in your dreams. And so if you're looking to tap into all the gifts that you had in your past life and you don't quite know them now, I would definitely start with contacting and doing meditations to contact your angels, contact your spirit guides, ask for signs, because you'll start hearing things, you're going to start seeing things. It's going to happen pretty quick for you, because it happened really, really quick for me as well, because as soon as I tapped in, boom, like I just like everything, it was like really, and I keep leveling up in this life. But I was already a high priestess. I was already I was told in my past lives when I tapped in, when I had my readings and when I did past life regressions and my dreams that I have, and I'm always seeing numbers, always, and I hear things and I see things and I feel things, and I have dreams, and just tapping in is awesome, because once you tap in to that higher consciousness and the divine, like, it's crazy the amount of information that pours in every night. Sometimes I wake up very tired because I get a lot of messages at night. So if you are feeling that, where you also dream a lot, I see different planets. I go to different planets, or I've been from different planets in my dreams. And one of these days when I feel less vulnerable to tell on YouTube, of my dreams and what I know about my past lives and what I have experienced, because I go to places that I have never been. They're like different planets, like craziness, crazy. I've also, I've been told in a lot of my readings that, again, I was a high priestess. I had already had everything in my past life, and I was also a pantheon where I sat on a throne, and people, and I had a lot of how do you say, people under me, like a nation, who looked up to me, and I had my whales would come and do tricks and sing for me. It was so beautiful. It's crazy. And I definitely could, I was underwater with really big fish. So all this kind of stuff starts coming back to you. It's really cool. I definitely think that you're a very advanced soul, for sure. Very advanced. With the World card, you have a lot in your past life, and it's probably spilled over into this life. You may find that you feel unsatisfied or lonely sometimes, because if you haven't tapped in, the feeling of loneliness comes out. I have felt it myself, where I feel like I'm alone, even though I have family. But I do feel like that because I feel like sometimes I feel weird, like I'm not, like in my dreams, I'm not from this planet. It's kind of, I know that sounds like interesting, but yeah. And so I feel like I miss my family, even though I have family. Like, I love my family here on this earth in this lifetime, but I have other family who I miss and who miss me very much. And they are, yeah. It's like really cool. They're definitely not from this world. So anyway, so that's just a little bit of me sharing, and I'm excited for you. And if you are gonna tap in, I like applaud you and salute you, because good for you, because it's super exciting. It's a really fun ride when you enjoy your journey. So okay, so I don't think I have anything else with this past life reading, but I am going to go ahead and ask Mr. Pendulum if you have had more than one past life. Okay, and so bear with me while I go ahead and move my camera. Okay guys, so I'm using my little disc that did come with my pendulum here. And this disc does, it shows us like yes and no are going this way. And then, I'm sorry, yes is going this way, no is facing the camera, does not want to answer is facing that way. And then facing this way is maybe. Okay, so if it's this corner, it's maybe, that corner, it does not want to answer. Front is no, and the side like this is yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. Mr. Pendulum, for group number 3, have they had more than one past life? Yes, no. Mr. Pendulum, group number 3, have they had more than one past life? And he's starting to okay, yes. The answer would be yes. Beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Pendulum. That's awesome. And I didn't doubt that at all, to be honest with you. I was really feeling that you have definitely lived multiple lifetimes. I would not be surprised if you watched video like consciousness evolution D on there. She has a beautiful channel, very beautiful soul, and she has videos on YouTube that are about like what starseed that you are. I wouldn't be surprised if you were a starseed as well, possibly an indigo child, and you feel like you have a higher purpose here on earth, because you start to feel that call, especially now that we are in the age of Aquarius. So super cool. So you know, guys, part of me asking, you know, I feel like I was put here on this earth for a mission to share my gifts, you know, freely, and also to help Mother Earth. I feel a very, very strong calling to ask for help from Mother Earth, and I think that we can do three things. One of three things, or all three things we can do, is first of all, please help Mother Earth. Help me on my quest to help Mother Earth by planting a plant, planting or watering a tree. You know, even if the tree's small, they grow big. You know, you can get free seeds from pine cones. So there's like really cool things you can do just to help, you know, give back. Trees and plants give us oxygen. So even if you have a little tiny herb garden in your window, they're going to grow up to be big herbs, and they can just, you know, give us food or herbs. And so also they help us breathe. So anything alive that you plant in this earth will help us, especially trees and plants. They always give us oxygen, so that's something we can do to help Mother Earth try to replenish the trees and the plants and the life there. And then also the try to adopt a shelter pet. If you are going to adopt, there's not just doggies and kitties, there are sugar gliders, chickens, reptiles, lots of different things that you can adopt if you go to the shelter, and you would actually save a life if you do adopt from a shelter. You know, I also feed the birds, you know, so there's lots of things that you can do to try to help, or even go to the park. If you cannot have a pet, go to the park and, you know, feed the pigeons. You know, there's beautiful things that you can do to help Mother Earth. And the last but not least is try to recycle one thing per day, or one thing today with me, or try to use a sustainable product. And that helps us not, you know, puts too much stuff in the landfills. So if you have a choice and you have your Starbucks and you're looking at, you know, okay, I can, you know, put this in the recyclable bin or the trash, take those extra 2 steps and put it in the recycle bin, because that'll really help Mother Earth. So just little things that if we all do, just little tiny things like that, we can, as a collective, can make a difference. I strongly believe that. So thank you so much for being here. I really wish you all love, peace, positivity, abundance, light, you know, prosperity, peace of mind, which is huge nowadays. I really, really want to wish that to you, and thank you again for joining me. And you definitely have had more than past lives, so I would definitely watch other past life readings, because there's lots of tarot readers on YouTube that do past life readings like this, and you might find out more about yourself. So I'm super excited for you. So I hope the very best, and until next time, bye-bye. Hello there, group number 4. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be your past life reading if you chose the red jasper right here. Okay, so you're group number 4. And then if you've been here with me before or have not, I like to give a gift of some candle magic for you. So we have a candle here that we will go ahead and do a little bit of candle magic. If you're not sure what candle magic is, I do have a quick video on it. I try to keep things nice and simple and clear. I hope it comes across clear and concise. But I do have another video you can, it's on my how-to playlist. So first things first, just a quick rundown of candle magic. So this is having to do with the law of attraction, maybe spells, witchcraft. What it is basically you would, if you have a blessing that you're asking for, a dream, a request, something that you would like to achieve, and you'd like to get your message to the universe faster, you can light a candle. So I intuitively picked this green color here, and it's interesting because it doesn't match the red jasper, but it just came out. And so whatever you're asking for, you think of your intention or your request from the universe or spirit. You send it here, and then I will light it on camera and then let it burn all the way out. Once it's done burning all the way out, it releases your request into the ether so that it can come to you quicker. Okay, so I will go ahead and let you think about what you would like to ask the universe for, and then I will light your candle here. Okay, feel free to pause at any time. All right, so I will go ahead and get your cards. Okay, guys, so you got the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Cups. So just off the bat, I'm intuitively feeling that you are a young soul. Okay, the reason is I don't you don't have any major arcana here, and so yeah, I definitely think you are a new soul. Okay, so you have not reincarnated multiple times. Okay, so this first card tells me, just looking at the cards right now, that you were possibly born in the month of January or the month of June or the month of October. Okay, you were definitely you were a female. Okay, you were a female. You lived near water and some mountains. Okay, I do see that because you have water here, some mountains. You also have some mountains here. Okay. You were, overall, your personality, you were very strong. You were very clear and concise, like with your thoughts and stuff. Like you were very very intelligent. I'm getting intelligence. You always had mental clarity. You were not a person that was like always forgetting. You were always like quick, very sharp-minded. When I see this Ace of Swords, you would always, like, if you had any kind of difficulties in your life, you got through them very quickly. You were able to bounce back because you had lots of inner strength. So you were able to just be like, well, I understand that happened and I'm processing my emotions and I'm moving on now because I have to keep going. You know, that's kind of like the kind of person you were, more of the strong feminine type, not someone who got too wrapped up in their emotions. So someone who was very clear. And if there was ever a setback in your past life, you got through it very easily. Okay. And I think it was because you were very, very smart. Okay. So I definitely am seeing someone that's very, very, very smart. And interesting. Very, very interesting. This is 1, 2, and 3. Huh. Look at that. And so at some point, I do think that you may have been, so the way you may have passed away is, oh, wow, okay. I'm getting like, you were, like stabbed. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting like, so you were injured by something sharp. An accident where there was on pavement and something sharp. So it could have been like, I'm thinking a car accident, you know, like you may have passed away in something that was, and you sustained injuries from something sharp. So I'm sorry. Yeah, interesting. And then you were very like, I think that you lived in a time where, and it wasn't like recently, like in the 60s ish or something, where as a woman you were felt free and you were very smart and everything, but you couldn't really show your intellect very much. Almost like I'm getting like you couldn't, like, you know, like the women's movement wasn't quite there yet. And so you had to as sharp as you were, you had to kind of hang out with the other wives, of course, and you had to take care of the home. You would always put together like parties and have friends and family around. So you were more like, to me, I'm getting like someone in like that took care of the home. But you were so sharp, and like you had so much intellect. Like you were like always the smartest one in your group. You know what I'm saying? You were married for sure. You were a stay-at-home wife. I'm not getting any children. I don't get any children here. When I'm reading this here, I see a lot of cause for celebration. Like you definitely had a lot of like get-togethers, maybe you might have had a book club or something where you were with other women, where y'all like, you could have like some of you could have been like a midwife or help people, like been there as support for someone, like in a feminine group, some kind of women's group. I'm getting that, but I don't know. This is not for everyone. Someone could have been that, because to me, I also got that you were in a time where like women could were very censored. Women were very censored. And so you really, this could have also been in your relationship with your husband, where you couldn't speak your mind. You wanted to, but you couldn't. Because she has the blindfold on here, she can easily just take it, put the swords down, take it off and look, but she can't, because I think that whatever in that, there's like this moon here. So it's a clear sky, but gloomy, like confusion or unable to speak her mind. That's what I'm getting. Unable to speak your mind there. Yeah. And let me see what else I can get from here. You definitely lived near water. I have already said that. You had a really good friend group. Like a really, really good friend group. Like when you were with your friends, you were like really happy, You like, so once you go out, sometimes you're just like, you want to get away. And when you are with your friends, it's almost like you could be giddy and like, ha ha ha, some of the stuff you can't say in front of your significant other. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Like you were able to just kind of be yourself, and instead of where you weren't really unhappy. You just couldn't say as much as you wanted to. You were kind of like, I would say like censored, if that makes any sense. But you helped these women, like your friends and your group and stuff. You guys were so close. Like, like maybe you were a godmother to someone, or someone's children or something, like you had like really, really close friends and family. You may have had like a really close family relationship as well. But I don't see that you had any children of your own, but I think you were able to help your friends or your group. You were able to help them because unfortunately you were unable to have your own children. Like I see like a possible, like you were just unable to. When you tried, it never came to fruition, if that makes sense for you. Okay. And I definitely think you did not live anywhere, like any time in this reading right here. This life was not before like the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like it was somewhere after like 1950 is kind of what I'm getting there. Okay. And I do think it was something. So if you like sometimes feel like if you're afraid of driving, or you kind of get nervous when you go on road trips, it could have been because you passed away. Or you might have a phobia, or like you don't like knives, or you don't like, sharp objects aren't your thing. You're not good when you're using cutlery. You tend to cut yourself or something that may have spilled over into this life a little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, could have been something like that, like now. Or maybe you like knives. You might have a knife collection or something. Could be complete opposite there, right? Let's see if there's anything else. I definitely think that you were lived in the Americas, like in the USA. I don't think that you lived out of the country. USA is what I'm vibing here. Yeah. Okay, let me see if there's anything else that I may be missing. Yeah, I see that you were blue, like you were sad. I'm sorry, like you were sad. I feel like that censorship made you like, oh, you were blue a lot of the time, but when you celebrated with your friends, you had such a good time and your family and stuff like that, you were just like, yay, you know. But when you were alone, or you know, you were married and everything, but yeah, like I said, I don't think that you, like, I think you were a very good homemaker for sure. For sure. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So I think that's all I'm getting from there. So I hope that was interesting for you. Just a little bit about my past lives. Like, I definitely have had readings. I've had past life regressions, sessions, and I go all the way back to, I lived in Egypt, and I was able to see the pyramids, nice and new and beautiful, right from my home. And I lived in a big palace with marble floors and big columns, and I had servants, and I was very young, and I was mischievous. I've also been told I was a high priestess. I was told I was a pantheon, meaning that I was served like I was a queen on a throne. I was sitting on a throne, and I was able to, like, the whales would sing to me and do like tricks for me. It was super cool. I've also had like dreams about not on this planet, like different planets that I've never ever heard of or been to or seen in my whole life or even read about. Like, I can't even find, if I look up the dreams that I had and the planets that I've been to, technically in my dreams, I can't find any planet like that. We haven't even discovered anything like that before. But the planets I've been to in my dreams are so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, really, really cool and interesting. And they like have water there. Like, yeah, I've also had been contacted. Like, I get a lot of messages from my angels, where I've been contacted from a different, like a family who loves me, but they are not from this earth. And I miss them very, 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 very much in my dreams, where I would miss them so much, or I'd wake up crying. So yeah, I can't make some of that stuff up, and I know I'm very vulnerable right now. If I tell you, you know, because this is YouTube and some people are not as sensitive to things like that, but I have lots of dreams, and when I can, I will definitely tell you more about them when I feel a little less vulnerable. But I've definitely been told multiple times in different readings that I am definitely an old soul. I was a high priestess before, and when I tapped into my gifts, I've had gifts since I was very, very young, and I have all the clairs. I've been told I have all the clairs, and I tapped in and I do have all the clairs. Like the clair, if you're wondering about what the clairs are, you can Google it. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. I do see things. I do hear things. I feel a lot, see a lot, lots of numbers. I'm tapped in, and I did not tap in until about 16 years ago, actually 15 years ago now, almost 16. And, like, I was afraid to, because stuff kept happening to me. Every time I started to think about it and kind of tap just in a little bit, like things started going nuts. Stuff started flying off shelves, and things would happen in my house, and it was like they were like so happy to, I think my guides were so happy to be like, hey, yay, hi, you know. And I was like, whoa, and I like backed off because I was afraid, because I was not raised, you know, to know anything about esoteric wisdom. And so I'm so glad that I tapped in, and I'm tapped in now, and to the greater consciousness. I do feel that I'm here because of my past lives and all of, you know, I remember things I don't know how I remember, and I know things I don't know how I know. You know, I think some of us have that, but yeah, so yeah, enough about me. But I love these kind of readings. I definitely think you're a young soul for sure. You know, so in this lifetime, at least right here, this is someone that was a young soul. So yeah, so much more information we could tell you, but one thing, if you are interested in more, to find out more about past lives, there's other readers on YouTube. I think I think Rosology has about past lives. I think she does. And then also Consciousness Evolution also has some past life stuff there. They have such wonderful, wonderful videos, beautiful, beautiful souls. You may want to also visit their channels. All right, guys. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get our answer from Mr. Pendulum. Let me move the camera. Okay, guys. So this is my little card that did come with my Mr. Pendulum here, and no is when it's going to be going this way. Okay, so it'll be kind of going towards the front of the camera. Yes, it's going to be coming this way. Don't want to answer is like towards this part of the camera, and maybe is this way. Okay, like diagonal. All right, so Mr. Pendulum has group number 4, had more than one past life. Mr. Pendulum has group number 4, had more than one past life. Okay, starting to wind down here. Starting to wind down. Okay, yep. Once he finds what he wants, then he'll start like really going. Yep. Yeah, definitely a no. Definitely a no. That's so fun. Thank you, Mr. Pendulum. I love it. So I know that takes a minute sometimes, but once he finds like, you know, yes or no, he'll like keep spinning it, and all of a sudden it's like, whew, you know, big time no. So you as group number 4 have not had a lot of past, you know, more than one past life. I don't think so. I didn't get that either. I definitely got that you are very, very young soul. You were just put on this beautiful earth, so you have many more possible lifetimes to live. So how exciting. So okay, guys, so I definitely have had lots of past lives, and I definitely feel that I have a reason for being here, and I have a calling to share my gifts with you and share love with you, and also help Mother Earth. I'm very strongly called to help Mother Earth, and this is my platform to ask you to help me. I believe we can make a difference if we try to plant a tree. There's 3 things we can do at least. Plant a tree, you know, or water a tree, you know, try to, you know, start a garden and do something where if you plant something, usually if you plant a small baby tree, they're very reasonably priced at, you know, the local garden store, and you can plant one and get one going, you know, and those actually help with our oxygen. You know, trees give us oxygen, so that's something that we can do to help Mother Earth. Also, we can help by adopting a shelter pet. There's lots of wonderful pets in the shelters that need to have their lives saved as soon as possible. There are doggies, kitties, sugar gliders, chickens, birds, reptiles, little tiny mice or rats, or really cool pets. Anything you can pretty much find in a pet store, you can find in a shelter, and they need, you know, you can save a life if you decide you want to have a pet. Please try to adopt. And also, last but not least, if you can try to recycle with me one thing today, or use a reusable or sustainable product, that is something we can do to try and not use or reuse the water bottles, or do whatever we can, or just recycle one thing today, and that'll help. I think if we all do one thing as a group, we can help Mother Earth and make it a better place for anyone coming after us. So I just want to wish you love and peace and positivity, light, peace of mind. Really, that's what we need nowadays, and abundance and prosperity and happiness, because we all need a little bit of that. And I want to send blessings to you, and thank you for being here. And until next time, I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.